Alright, so I just got back from watching The Naked Gun, the fourth in the Naked Gun franchise, and also sort of a legacy sequel of the first three Naked Gun films. Now, as far as my connection or history to this series goes, I have no great love for the Naked Gun movies. I did not grow up on them. I actually just watched them recently in order to prepare for this film. They are very funny, though. I don't have any nostalgia for them, but especially the first two, I think, are really clever with the amount of jokes they have per, not even per minute, per like 16 odd number, per like 15 seconds. Every 15 seconds there's a joke, or, what people call a sight gag, something funny going on in the background. And you don't see a lot of movies like that is these days that are just pure, parody or pure satire. There were a lot of them back in the day, but not so much anymore. So this is kind of a return to that. And that's the biggest compliment I can give this movie, is that it really does feel like the same people that made the first three Naked Gun movies somehow transported themselves through time and made another one that does fit in today's age. There's a lot of modern jokes about modern things, similar to the first three Naked Gun movies. But it keeps that same style. It is very slapsticky, very, sight gag sort of humor. And that's what I appreciated most about it, is it doesn't really try to change the type of comedy that these movies are famous for. It kind of keeps it where it's always been for these movies, which is what I appreciate. And it does it very well. I laughed multiple times. Not every joke got a laugh out of me, but there were a lot of very funny jokes, jokes that call back on themselves, and jokes that were just so stupid that you have to laugh, which is very similar to how jokes were in the first three films. Liam Neeson is underrated as far as comedy goes. Everyone knows him as like a hard-boiled action hero sort of guy for like low-budget action movies, especially these days. But he's actually really very funny when he wants to be, and he is very funny in this movie. Pamela Anderson is also very funny. Paul Walter Hauser is very funny as well. Everyone's doing a great job. So I don't think this movie is for everybody, because I do think a lot of people might watch this movie and be like, well, this is stupid. If you don't like the sort of, dumb comedy. Like, I do not think my mom, for example, would find this movie very funny at all. Because it's very much like, childish humor a lot of the time. And that's usually not the type of thing that a lot of people find very funny. A lot of people want more clever or dark humor than what you would find here. But if you do like and can joke at stupid stuff, stupid humor, and can kind of, forget the plot, forget character development, and just watch something designed to make you laugh, I think you could have a good time with The Naked Gun. It is very cinematic, so if you're in the mood for a theater movie, this isn't a bad movie to see in the theater. It's got good cinematography. It doesn't seem like a Netflix movie. But if you don't want to spend the money on a comedy, which I totally get, then you could wait for streaming and maybe rent it, maybe to watch it if you're in the mood for this type of comedy. Not a lot of people are. So those are my thoughts on The Naked Gun.